The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with your host, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, all you wonderful money masters and treasure hunters. Welcome to the February 12th terrific Tuesday edition of today's Opening Bell on the Trader's Edge. I'm your host, Steve Rhodes, and thanks so much for joining me, folks. I absolutely treasure your presence here today, and my outcome, as always, is to help you to become a better money master and to provide you with the tools that each of us need in order to lead an inspired life. So let's go take a look at one of our tools. This is the tool I call the pillars of success. Now, the things that successful people find easy to do, I find that unsuccessful people find not so easy to do. Big change. Successful people find it easy to set goals that could change their life, and unsuccessful people find it easy not to do. Successful people find it easy to read books, maybe attend workshops, webinars. Unsuccessful people, they kind of say, that probably won't really change my life or anything. Unsuccessful people say it really wouldn't matter. Folks, successful people, the difference between successful people and unsuccessful people, at least this is what I find. It's this philosophy. Successful people do the things unsuccessful people don't, and they find it easy to do. Folks, go out there and make sure each day you do all you can do. You know, there are 6 human needs out there that each of us have. You've got the need for certainty, the need for uncertainty. You've got the need for significance. Not necessarily you, but these are the 6 human needs. There's the need for love and connection, and then you've got those two wonderful needs, the need for growth and the need for contribution. That is where I live, in growth and contribution. I want to make a contribution to your life and help you grow. That's really what it's all about here for each of us at TFNN. So thanks so much for joining us. Let's go take a look at these markets. Now, of course, if we take a look at yesterday, if we were to, fast reverse it, usually people talk about fast forward, but if we went to 9 o'clock yesterday morning, and we're taking a look at the ES Mini right now, this happens to be the 10-minute chart that we've got on my screen here. If you are listening in on the radio or perhaps your mobile device, remember you can always get this show streaming live to you by going to the homepage at tfnn.com. You'll see 3 smartphone devices on the right-hand side. Click on that. This show will stream live to you. As well, you can always get the archive of this show so you can replay it, take a look at these chart patterns, because I will help you grow. I will contribute to your knowledge about technical trading, patterns that are out there, elements that you can rely upon. Doesn't matter where you are at in your trading technical analysis career out there. And so what we are looking at here right now, just to put it together for you, yesterday as we came onto the air at 9 o'clock, the S&P futures, the E-mini was traded at 1513.50. Right now it's trading at 1513.75 out there. So you could sort of say things are pretty much unchanged. The markets traded in a very narrow trading range yesterday, very light volume in the markets. Not a lot of information necessarily for the bulls and the bears, but we'll go find out what the market is doing anyways. Right now on the 10-minute chart here, we can see there was a 0.786 Gartley sell pattern that formed. Of course, it was formed with a wide-ranging bar on the 10-minute chart coming into it. And what I mean by that, folks, is a Gartley pattern has an A to B equals CD in it. An A to B equals CD pattern is so powerful. Understanding and mastering that C to D leg, because the market will do 75% of the work for you. Really important to do. Also, how a market comes into a D point. And a D point is either going to be a 1-to-1. That happens 60% of the time. The other 40% is going to be some extension of that. Could be 1.272. Sometimes people use 1.382. I use 1.272, 1.618. Could be a level of a 2. Could be 2.618. Of course, 2.618 usually will turn into butterfly patterns, but not always. Just depends on what that retracement of the X point all the way down to where you're starting your A to B. In this case here, this would be an A to B equals CD up. And now, what Gartley didn't do, H.M. Gartley, if you were to read his book, he didn't use Fibonacci. He didn't take a look at being able to say, hey, your A to B equals CD should also come in right around the Fibonacci area. That is Dr. Professor Pesavento out there. He certainly added that tool, and it's really all about, if you think about it, I talk about reading books. I don't know how many books it is or workshops that you attend, and trying to just simply, pick off one thing new. Or to better yet, take a look at what somebody else has already done and say, What is it that you see that might be different out there? Because after all, this is really all about pattern recognition. These are markets here that are full of folks like you and me, which means it is full of this. It's a bundle of emotion that is out there, the bundle of emotion and fear and greed, and why mathematics end up identifying those areas. I don't know. I just know that they do, and that means that it's something that you want to make sure that you've got in your arsenal, your tool bag. As we take a look at the 10-minute chart of the ES Mini, the swing point, which really begins the area. It's really the swing point here, and it's where you see a change in market direction. You would come up to the swing point at 5:10 in the morning yesterday. That's February the 11th out there. That swing point high, 1516.75. If you go all the way from that swing point high all the way down to the low that was put in here, coming in certainly with a little wide-ranging bar at about 12:30 this morning. Most of you, well, on the East Coast, you certainly could have been up, or it could have been up on the West Coast. Could have been up, quite frankly, anywhere. We got listeners all around the world. But at 12:30 this morning, the ES Mini got down to a low of 1508.50. Something stopped it dead in its tracks out there. Of course, you can see as the ES Mini was moving down there, it got into where? It got into that extreme oversold territory. What is it that we expect when we take a look at the EKG of a market when you get down to that extreme oversold, or if you get up into the extreme overbought territory? What is it that we should expect? Should we expect to see either bulls show up at the lows and bears to show up at the highs? Something to think about. I say that you absolutely should. So as we take a look at the CS Mini, if you go from that swing point high to the swing point low, and I'll do it with my retracement ruler out here, what we will see is that the 0.786 level comes in at 14.15 on the spot. What happened as the D point was being made coming into 8:40 this morning? Closed at 15.25. You got to love that, folks. Now, it was coming in with a wide-ranging bar that said, oh, this might make a 100% move of a move, but no. Sweet 786, it's sweet 618 and sweet Georgia Brown and sweet 786 for sure. And if you just put it together, if you put the tools together, as the A to B equals CD pattern was completing, as the market was completing a 0.786 retracement out there, the market also getting into where? Into that overbought territory. Should you expect to see some type of retracement? The answer is absolutely yes, you should. You've got all these tools that are out here. In fact, I have been working on a set of tools for months. Each Wednesday, not each Wednesday, typically every other Wednesday I do a workshop for each of my clients. I do those at 3 to 4 in the afternoon. And, my whole life, really, not my whole life, but one of the beauties of being able to be with you each morning and doing is, number one, I get to do what it is that I love. There's nothing better than just simply doing what it is you love. There is nothing that I would rather be doing. If somebody came down and said, I want to grant you some wishes, Steve, as far as what you could be doing in life, are you doing it? And this absolutely is it. For an hour or 2 hours a day out there, this absolutely is it. Now, what I'm always seeking, I don't know if this applies to you as well, I am always looking for ways to grow. That means taking a look at things that others have done, whether it's individuals around here that I bump elbows with, whether it's Tom, whether it's Larry, whether it's David, Ken Shreve, Basil, the whole group, Daryl, you name it. Love to be able to listen and see what others are doing, and I hope that you do that. But there's always also ways to be able to improve. Thomas Edison, you don't think that the same light bulb that he created or the same car that he created or whatever else it is that some inventor out there has created, that stopped the creation or the development of those, did it? It most certainly didn't. So there's always ways for you to be able to step back, take a look at it, and be able to apply your own tools. Well, for months, so what I do every other Wednesday is try to share new ideas, something new. Now, what it forces me to do is also oftentimes go out and educate myself or take a look at something. And that really is the beauty of it, because this is what I love to do anyway, so it forces me to do something that I love to do. Now, on February 20th, normally I would be doing a workshop tomorrow, but we're going to push that back. I'm going to be doing an evening workshop from 6:30 to 7:30, and it's a set of tools of everything that I have ever discovered before. It's actually a set of tools that is the best discovery I have ever found. Buying and selling the D point, understanding that D point and how it's made and Gartley patterns and so forth, beautiful to understand and trade out there. But what I have identified and discovered is way better. Not like just a little bit better, but way better than anything else that I've ever come up with before. In fact, I have, run this program. I've been running this program just simply since the highs in September 14th, in essence, through today. And the trading outcome of trading this pattern here, quite frankly, folks, it has netted a 35% return. And so it's something that I'm going to be teaching. I spent some time last week, it was 2 weeks ago, with my clients and subscribers out there. I'm going to be doing the same thing next Wednesday, February 20th, from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. And if you haven't subscribed to my newsletter, there is no better time than right now, because I want to be able to teach you this pattern. This is absolutely the ultimate of patterns. As I've gone back and applied it to other charts, whether it's stocks, whether it's currencies, it works on all time frames, it works on all instruments out there. And as I've applied it to those other instruments, I want to be able to teach you. This, I think, this is like hitting a gold mine, an oil well. And if you are, look, only if you're interested in expanding your growth, your knowledge out there, should you want to go ahead and sign up for Mastering Probability. It comes with a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. So you can, on the same day, you can sign up for it if you wanted to. Next Wednesday morning, you can cancel that credit card basically on Thursday. That's if you want to do it. But you want to be able to understand this pattern. If we take a look at the Gartley sell pattern that's out here, a normal retracement back would be to the 618 level. That'd be 15.1125. That's what we should expect here in our markets.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Wealth Management. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportions of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley believes a carefully selected portfolio can lower volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what an asset allocation and a Morgan Stanley Wealth Management financial advisor can do for you. Call Angela O'Brien, First Vice President and Financial Planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Wealth Management, LLC. Member SIPC.
With the launch of TigerTV, TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With TigerTV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Ken Shreve, David White, Larry Pesavento, Victor Jones, or Daryl Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on TigerTV for your viewing pleasure, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out TigerTV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
McEwen Mining is a high-growth, mid-tier producer in the Americas with a market capitalization of $1 billion. Experienced mining executive Rob McEwen, as chairman, CEO, and president, owns 25% of the outstanding shares of McEwen Mining and has put in place an ambitious business plan with the goal of qualifying for inclusion in the S&P 500 by 2015. With $70 million in cash and liquid assets as of the end of 2012 and completely debt-free, McEwen Mining is poised for growth. Production in 2013 is forecasted to grow at 24%, reaching 130,000 gold equivalent ounces, and over the next 3 years, McEwen Mining projects that their production will increase to 290,000 gold equivalent ounces, almost a threefold increase from last year's totals. If you'd like to find out more about McEwen Mining, click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the NYSE or TSX under the symbol MUX.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try patterns, profits, and peace of mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to tfnn.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's patterns, profits, and peace of mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by BackTech Environmental. For more information, just click the BackTech banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
Welcome back, folks. Futures are really flat out here. Dow futures up about 14. ES Mini up a point. NASDAQ futures flat out here. Russell 2000 flat as well. King dollar down 4 cents. Gold. We'll take a look at the gold chart and silver chart. Gold down $2 right now. Trade out at 16.46.90. Silver trade out at 30.83. That's off 8 pennies out here. Light sweet crude on the move up 44 cents right now. Trading out at 97.46. The DAX over in Germany up 14 points. The FTSE up 37. The Nikkei coming back online last night up about 2%, 216 points. What was behind that was the move on the yen. We'll take a look at that currency pair as well. Let's start off taking a look at the daily chart here on the ES Mini and take a look at what we were identifying yesterday. You've got a support line, or what now is a support line. It was an old resistance, and that was really established based on that February 1st high. That February 1st high is 1510.50 out there. You had a bearish reversal candle the following trading session on February 4th. That set up a line of support or resistance, I should say, out there. That also happens to be the 1.272 butterfly expansion level. Yesterday, you did have the ES Mini trade down to 1509.75. Did it on lighter volume. Closed back above it. That's the first test of that what used to be a resistance area. Now we're going to call it a support area until it gets broken. You can see in this morning's trading as well, getting down to the 1508.50 like we were looking at on the 10-minute chart out there. So today could be a second test. You get a third test, that becomes a fairly strong line out there and would suggest then the possibility of the ES Mini actually moving all the way up and creating that 1.618 butterfly. But, the day is young here, and so we'll see how these markets trade. If we take a look at the actual cash S&P out here, well, we can see yesterday the 1514.41. I said write that down on a piece of paper because that is going to be key. That also was the high of February the 1st out there. So that was that up thrust on February 1st. Yesterday you did have the S&P get down to 1361, so it tested that area, tested on lighter volume, closed above it. So you've also got the cash index testing an area that used to be resistance, really set up by that bearish engulfing candle out there. So that now potentially an area of support. If we do take a look at the ETF structure and switch all the way over to the SPYs. Now the SPYs on Friday's session actually created and formed a completed 1.272 butterfly pattern. If you went ahead and took a look at the expansion off of the September 14th swing point high, that number is 148.11, all the way down to the swing point low at 134.70. That is, and you went ahead and you multiplied the difference times 1.272, added it to the 134.70. The number that you would get would be 151.76. What the market actually did February 8th got up to a high of 151.89 on Friday. Right now trading, and it closed out on Monday at 151.71. Of course, if you take a look at volumes here, yesterday the volume really weak. Was it because of what was going on in Northeast? Certainly not because of the holiday, and certainly not because of the Chinese New Year. I can't imagine. Yesterday's volume on the SPYs was 73.7 million out there. That's after Friday. And so what happened on the SPYs, what actually happened was the high of Friday, 151.89. You closed back below it. You did it on lighter volume out there. So we'll see what today brings. Of course, we can't see that the market conditions up towards that overbought territory out there. As we take a look at some of the, let's go take a look at the currency pair. Let's start off by taking a look at the Queen. We can see here that the Queen, which I'm talking about, is the Euro-US dollar currency pair from the low, which was put in on January 4th, that being down at the 129.963 out there, all the way up to the high that was put in on February 1st. We can see the retracement. Retracement brought it back down below the 0.382 level. That is a normal stopping point, is right around the 0.382 level. What took place so far today in intraday trading is it bounced back up into that area. Right now, really just continuing to trade with inside that candle from February 7th, the body of that candle of February 7th. What the euro wants to do, it's got much more room to run to the downside out here. The euro wants to at least pull back to the 0.618 level, but more likely the 0.786. Now, could it do a retracement here? Yeah, because it got down to that 0.382 level. We can actually in advance really draw the A to B equals CD down. If we take a look at it, you'd come off of the swing point high, February 1st, down to the low that was put in on February 8th. And you can take a look at, this is a great tool to have on a system here. You can see even if it does just a 0.382 retracement, 0.382 retracement would take you really all the way back down to the lows out there. If the euro from here does a 0.618 retracement, what it will do is the A to B equals CD down will take you into about the 131.7 level. 877-927-6648. We'll be right back.
Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. Just recently, on December 28th, Market Insight subscribers were advised to go long the QQQ, the NASDAQ 100 ETF, on December 28th at $63.91, and only 2 trading days later, after a huge jump in the market, Market Insight subscribers were advised to sell the QQQ at $66.64 for a $2.73 or 4.27% profit to start off 2013. At the same time, Tom O'Brien had advised his clients looking for a more leveraged trade that they could have initiated a position in the QLD, the ProShares Ultra QQQ ETF, and over the same 2 trading days, Market Insight subscribers were able to lock in a $4.48 profit or an 8.47% gain in just 1 trade. Get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during your free trial and pay nothing. Don't miss out on the next great trading opportunity in 2013. Act today. If you're an investor looking for a great weekly investment newsletter, then now is the perfect time to try out Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Every Tuesday, Ken breaks down multiple sectors in his weekly newsletter, Ultimate Growth Stocks, with a full in-depth report including specific trading recommendations within his model portfolio, charts, sector analysis, upcoming economic data, along with intra-week trading updates on newsletter positions whenever the market dictates. Right now, you can receive a full month, that's 30 days, to evaluate Ken's newsletter free of charge to see if it fits your trading plan. At less than $75 per month, Ken provides you with his expert trading advice that can pay for itself in no time. Take advantage of this great offer by signing up for a 30-day free trial to Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks today. Don't let this offer pass you by. Visit the front page of TFNN.com and sign up now. Daryl Martin coined the phrase diagnostic trading, and we're happy to announce that his diagnostic box spread analyzer has finally been released. The Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer helps you easily identify the best box spreads on Nadex in seconds, plus you receive access to the diagnostic deviation levels, as well as step-by-step training videos teaching you how to trade Nadex spreads so you can quickly master the mechanics of this simple yet powerful trading instrument. By pulling live data from the Nadex exchange, the Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer does all the math for you, calculating risk, reward potential, distance to break even for both outright spreads and spreads used to hedge the underlying market. Visit the front page of TFNN.com today to get your 2-week free trial to Daryl Martin's Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer and gain access to the valuable information it can provide when trading the Nadex box spreads.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
To the races. We got the Dow up 9 points right now. S&P sleeping inside the gate, only up 71 cents right now. The composite sleeping as well, down 72 cents. Russell 2000 up 96 cents out there. So a flat market here. Popping in the market, though, you've got Michael Kors up a nice $7. That's up 12% on a release of earnings. Fossil, FOSL, is up $6. That's up about 6% as well. Netflix having a good morning here, up $4 and change, up 2.5%. Avon Products, AVP, is the ticker symbol. Avon, isn't that the doorbell that would ring? Avon Products up $2. That's up 11%. We'll take a look at that. WellCare Health, WCG, is up 3%. Brookdale Senior, that is a BKD is a ticker symbol. They're up 6%. Masco, MAC, one of my favorite companies there in Detroit. Actually, as a young lad, used to work in the tax department for the company that I actually worked on the Manoogians, the Manoogian brothers tax returns out there. MAS is the ticker symbol. They're up 8.7%. Dun & Bradstreet, DNB, they're leading things to the downside, off 5%. That's off about 6%. Valspar Corp off $4. You've got Level 3 Communications down 12%. That's off $3 and change. PPG Industries off $2.38. That's down about 2%. LinkedIn pulling back this morning. That might not be a bad stock chart for us to go take a look at. Off $2. Ryman Hospitality, RHP, off $1.47. That is up off 3%. Ocean Rig, ORIG, down 5%, but that's only 85 cents. Let's start off by taking a look here at the U.S. dollar Japanese yen currency pair. And let's take a look at the 30-minute chart. And the reason why I want to go back here, we were looking at this stock chart yesterday. You know, we talk about understanding the 0.618, 786 retracements off of swing points. We can see here in the 30-minute chart of the Japanese yen, and where I'm going back to is 1 o'clock in the morning on February the 6th. Makes a high out there of 94.46. We can see a change in trend. That becomes our swing point high all the way down to the swing point low, which came in at about 3 in the morning on February the 8th, out at a price point of 92.70. Looks like that is maybe it's a little bit lower. 92. Make sure I get the right one. 92.16, 3:30 in the morning on February the 8th. If you go from the swing point high to the swing point low, as we were taking a look at the Japanese yen yesterday, it was making a 0.618 retracement. A Gartley qualified as a Gartley sell pattern. You can see the market just simply consolidated sideways all the way up into about 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon. And then, boom, moved higher, came into that 0.786 level, and as it was coming to that 0.786 level, a wide-ranging bar. What does that tell you when you come into a wide-ranging bar? So I have also said that, look, when you see a 0.786 Gartley pattern, whether it's a sell or it's a buy, when those areas fail, they typically turn into butterflies, 1.272 butterflies out there. In this case here, never got a chance really to make the 0.786 Gartley sell pattern because that session from 2 to 2:30 out there just simply sliced right through that with a wide-ranging bar. So it's interesting here, and just point this out for you. And that's why you want to be paying attention to these patterns, what's going on from a price standpoint. And if we take a look at it, the expansion, let me do this here. What you can see now as I go ahead and I shrink the chart down, the 1.272 expansion is around 94.57 on the Japanese yen. Well, coming into the 5 p.m. Time frame yesterday, gets up to 94.48. 94.48 versus 94.57. It did that 1.272 expansion that was out there. And as it was doing that, it was getting where? Into that extreme overbought territory. It has to work its way off. It does that by doing what? By just simply, in this case here, moving move sideways, and then simply traded down a little bit coming into the 12:30 session last night. Worked off that condition. You can see here, punched lower coming into the 9 a.m. Time frame out there. Neither overbought nor oversold at this stage. But the important thing is understanding these patterns out here, when they fail, what your expectations should be, because it will absolutely help you in your trading, help you in your money management out there in trading these markets. Let's go take a look at some of these stocks here that are popping and dropping. And let's go actually take a look at Goodyear Tire for our man Max in Houston. He had called yesterday. And as we take a look at Goodyear Tire, he did mention they would be out with earnings yesterday. Their net sales, $20.99 billion versus $22.76 from a year ago. Their net income, where's their net income down here? Geez, I don't see the net income, but they did earnings per share of 74 cents versus $1.26. You can see yesterday coming into that trading, it pushed higher, and it pushed higher with a pretty good volume out there. It did it with 7.9 million shares out there. Max was short this with some puts out here, and we took a look at the weekly chart on this. We took a look at on the daily chart. We saw some of these high volume bars that should act as support. Now, volume so far this morning out of this equity, it's early, it's 9:39, so 9 minutes into the trading session, 1.6 million shares, so pretty good volume in the early stages. The first test of Goodyear is going to be right here. Goodyear Tire is going to be right here at the December 10th high. That's at the 1318 level, 6.5 million shares. If that gives way, the bottom of that candle also runs into a support area, and that goes all the way back to this volume bar on August the 1st, 17 million shares out there. I suspect, well, if this area gets broken, when I mean by the area, I mean the high of December the 10th out there, then I would think that Goodyear Tire should go down and test out that August 1st high. And if this area holds here, well, that would be something to think about, because not much of a retracement out there. So we'll come back and take a look at, perhaps we'll take a look at Goodyear Tire tomorrow to see what it did. Let's go take a look at some of these stocks here that are popping and dropping. Kors. Let's go take a look at Michael Kors out there. Sounds like they had a good holiday season out here, gapping up nicely this morning with some good volume behind it for sure. So let's go take a look at Michael Kors. Let's put this on a weekly chart first here. So as we take a look at time frames, this is up over its highs. If we take a look at A to B equals CD patterns, just simply coming off of the low. You know, don't the people at Facebook wish that they had a stock chart that looked like Michael Kors out here? The low, which was December 16th, the IPO date, $23.51. Your B point on this, the B point that I would use would be the March 9, 2012 high out at the $50.69 level. Your C point is a retracement done back to the June 8th price of $35.50. Right now, what it's completing is we're looking at a weekly chart, a 1-to-1, A to B equals CD. That's the first one. Let's take a look at this retracement here from let's see what the B to C retracement was. The 0.618 actually would have taken it down to a price point of $33.90. That would have been the price objective. It got down to $35.50 out there. Not too shabby. If we take a look at another swing point here that it's trying to take out, that would be the, not trying to, it is taking out, is that November 2nd level that has 8 million shares out there. What else happened around November 2nd? Nothing I can think of. So not much in the way of volume there. I don't think, was it Thanksgiving maybe? Was that around there? But November the 2nd out there, that's the swing point that is dealing with only 8 million shares. Yesterday's trading was through 7 million shares, so it's going to take that out for sure. Could be another A to B equals CD. That would be forming out here. That one would take us from the actual C point down to the level on November the 16th out there. out at the price point of 46.66. Let's shorten the chart out here, see if we have a couple patterns coming together, and yes, we do. It's at that 1.272 level, $70.10. You have two A to B equals CD patterns. It looks like that is where Michael Kors wants to head to on the weekly chart, $70.10. If we take a look at this equity here, let's go see if this thing is overbought, oversold, where this is traveling into. On the weekly base, just getting up into that oversold condition. We can see as Michael Kors got up there, meaning the week of August 17th, it really just started to consolidate sideways in order to work that off. You want to make sure that you understand where your equity is on different time frames out here, just simply to set the expectation. So that is on Michael Kors. Having a nice morning, already done 7 million shares in just the first 13 minutes of trading. Let's go take a look at Fossil out there. FOSL is the ticker symbol. Also off to the race this morning, gapping up, doing it with a good volume behind this move right now, trading up about 6%. So let's go put this back on a, let me give me a second here just to widen this thing out. Okay, Fossil. So Fossil now really moving down into an area where it broke down. And so we'll take a look at these patterns. Where it broke down, folks, was the session of May 7th out there. So that level has not been tested. That's where it is headed to, most likely headed to, which would be the low 125.20 up to the high of 129.13 on May 7th. When I say volume, if you take a look at the volume, the air that came out of the tires here was almost 21 million shares on May the 8th. So if we take a look at this, has gapped up now. This is the second gap up here. The first gap was a trade where the first gap came in on August the 7th as it came off of the lows. Did it with nice volume, but what it did was it ran right into the resistance line set up, what I'll call resistance 1 and resistance 2. When you take a look at gaps, you want to basically have two lines that you understand. And you call them support 1, support 2, resistance 1, resistance 2. Just simply your two areas that are well defined here. In this case, I'm going to call resistance 1 being the top of the gap down candle. I hope that makes sense. Go look at the stock chart and take a look at the May 8th time frame. The high of that session, that's where it gapped down to, was $93.60. That is your 20.7 million share day. You can see as Fossil first gapped up on August the 7th, it did it with 7 million shares, and that volume, that pressure held it in check. In fact, continued to consolidate, tried to bust out of it once on November the 2nd as the market, November 2nd was the market. I don't know what the market was doing on November 2nd off the top of my head, but Fossil, doesn't matter. Fossil tried to gap up out of there, closed back below it, even tried the following session on November 5th and went ahead and gapped down with volume, continuing to set up this consolidation area. Then what does it do? It breaks out of that level really on January 3rd with the market, right? So the market here, which is why you certainly want to be able to identify the trend in the market. You'd like to see your stocks going along with the trend in the marketplace. In the case here, Fossil did. We've taken a look at stocks that callers have called in or something that we have taken a look at, and they've already traded back to the December 31st area, whereas the market is up towards its highs. At least Fossil here trading along with the general market as it broke out above a area of resistance. Resistance 1, we'll call it. And once it gets into the gap, you just simply don't know. Is it going to make it all the way up to the top of the gap? Is it going to make it somewhere in between? And that's where you really have to pay attention to what are the bulls and bears telling you, candlestick up pattern-wise. What we do have right now, if we take a look at A to B equals CD patterns, so let's go take a look at this, and let's see where this could send Fossil to. We take a look at the lows of July 12th. That price point being $62.77. That's your A point. Your B point is going to be, that I'm going to use on this, is going to be where Fossil tried to break out on November 2nd. That is the high of 96.40. Now, it's fairly easy to identify where that B point should be because you're looking really for the swing point high, in this case here for your B point, before you actually see the swing point low, that C point, which is really down here in this range. On the show here, I may not hit the exact numbers because the screen is actually fairly distant from me, but I've got a little magnet on here that tries to hit the bottom of a swing point, but it's going to be somewhere right down around the $78 level, somewhere in that November. Well, it's probably the November 16th low out here. That actual November 16th low was 80.36. So that's not it. It looks like November 14th or so, right around 79.47. Now, the retracement there, not too bad. If we take a look at that retracement, looks like only about a 0.382 retracement, and we're going to go from our A to our B point, and most certainly it is. maybe just a little bit below that. Perhaps it's a 50% retracement, but the 0.382 level on your ruler is really used more from a trending standpoint to understand, is it a strong trend that is underway here? And that is, in fact, what it is that we see. So that sets up here with Fossil doing more than a 1-to-1 A to B equals CD. Right now, what it has done or is doing here this morning, it's completing the 1-to-1 level, which would be somewhere right around 113 and change out there. The 1 to 1.272, though, takes you almost up to the bottom of the gap, 122 and change. That would actually take you to this little swing point down here from April 23rd, which is at 123.66. But if it can get all the way up there, this will likely go ahead and close the gap. Now, Fossil, the reason why we want to take a look at Fossil is because, this has had some huge volume out of it. You can see here as this made a triple top, back on the triple top would take you back into the July of 2011 area. That level was hit and it was given up in April of 2012 as well as in May of 2012. So this could actually be setting up here, if it was time with the market, this could be setting up a nice short trade. What stocks that you want to go ahead and trade to the downside are expensive stocks. You want to find something in the 100-plus range, the 200-plus range, because they have more downside potential. A $15 stock, how much lower can a $15 stock really go in order for you to make really great money out of it? Too many opportunities, especially when you have, in my opinion, too many opportunities when you have corporations that are flush with cash, that in order to be able to really grow their business, especially as we have a strong dollar, as we take a look at, from a currency pair standpoint, but forget the dollar. Just simply companies that are flush with cash, and what they can do is go out there and buy growth. So, be careful when you're shorting stocks. Make sure that you are looking for stocks that are high priced out here. It's possible as Fossil makes its way up into the 125.20 to 129.13 level with the right volumes, and then with the right candle structure out there, this could be setting up a nice move to the downside. 877-927-6648. Markets are absolutely flat out here. We can go water skiing, barefoot skiing. Dow's up 3, S&P's down 80 cents, composite down 3. We'll be right back.
It's always better when we're together.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investments, and whether you're bullish or bearish on U.S. Treasuries, the ETFs from Direction Shares are there to help you magnify your perspective. Bull ETFs for a rising market and bear ETFs for a falling market. Direction Shares gives you the tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Recently, Basil Chapman has had some outstanding trades in his newsletter, The Opening Call. Each morning by 9 a.m., Basil uploads his newsletter to the TFNN servers so that his subscribers can access his expert trading advice. Basil gives his take on the direction of key indices and updates any active trades that his subscribers are currently in. Just recently, Basil subscribers closed out a short position in Chipotle Mexican Grill, CMG, for more than an $86 profit per share, over a 20% gain in just one position. If you'd like to try out Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, then visit the front page of TFNN.com and click Trading Newsletters. There you'll find Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, where you can request a free sample copy. Also, don't miss Basil's program, The Tiger Technicians Hour, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, on TFNN.
Tom O'Brien's weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, has helped subscribers for over 10 years navigate the high-risk world of exploring and producing gold companies. And now's a great time to sign up for a free month-long trial to see the kind of insight that Tom delivers for his subscribers on a weekly basis. Every Monday, Tom O'Brien issues a quick update on the metal market, giving you his take on the HUI, XAU, GLD, dollar, bonds, and much more. Tom follows Monday's update with a full gold report, which is delivered to subscribers Tuesday afternoon with detailed coverage of 24 separate gold or metal stocks, as well as another 10 to 15 stocks that he lets you know are on his potential watch list. Get your month-long free trial to the Gold Report today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Don't spend another year navigating the metal markets on your own. Act early in 2013 and make the most of your gold and metal market investments.
Catch the Money Masters as they teach you the art of mastering money when it comes to trading and investing. Next on TFNN.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
It absolutely is, folks. Welcome back. We've got the Dow up 13 points, S&P up 60 cents, Composite down 50 cents, Russell 2000 up about 1.5 points. Let's go take a look at Level 3 Communications. LVLT is their ticker symbol, out with earnings. They did a revenue of $1.6 billion versus $1.59 billion, so not too bad there. Net loss, $56 million. They had $1.6 billion in revenue, and they've lost $56 million out there. Of course, that was versus a loss of $163 million the year earlier. Earnings per share, 26 cents versus a loss of 80 cents from the prior year. Getting a little hammered here this morning. Not the good kind of a hammer. Gapping down. Volume so far out of this equity here is about 2 million shares. So you got 2 million shares. You can see this thing really was trading up yesterday into a prior area of resistance out there. That'd be the horizontal resistance. Looks like Level 3 Communication will come down and test this high volume, its most recent high volume swing point low. That is the August 1st time frame, anywhere between the 1636. That is the bottom of the swing point, and that has 7.7 million shares. So 7.7 million, and you've already got 2 million shares today. So most certainly looks to me like the low of that swing point is what will be tested. That is 1636 from August the 1st out here. This equity really it's got a consolidation range. We can draw the lines across the chart here to take a look at that. I would say you're looking pretty much right about there for the top of the consolidation range. If we take a look at it on the bottom, which is likely where this thing is going to head down to, and let's go see if I actually was looking at the proper swing point out. Yeah, I was. That is the August 1st. So you can see Level 3 Communication really consolidating in a trading range. Maybe this thing is setting up with this consolidation pattern, setting up a buy as the swing point from August 1st were to be tested. That's what I would be looking at. And what's nice is you got a high volume low. So in this case here, if that level gets tested, let's go ahead and see where this thing is at on the oversold over. Okay. If we take a look at this, if it can get down that low, I might set up a nice little trading range for you right in the, let's see, so the low where this would move down to, should move down to August 1st, down around the 1636 level. If it can test that, get below it, close back above it on on less than 7 million shares out there, and you see some type of bullish candle, would set up a possible nice trading range all the way up into the 24-ish level, maybe 2484, somewhere right around there. That is on Level 3 Communication. We can see this thing really been consolidating sideways ever since August of 2011 out there. Let's go take a look at Masco Corp. So I have not looked at that stock chart here. And Masco Corp, just for a good old hometown boy. Masco, where is Masco? I thought was trading up here this morning. They have dropped off of my radar here. It says it's trading at, that's MasterCard. It's MAS. I knew that stock chart didn't look right. MAS is the ticker symbol, not MA. Of course, I need to learn how to type. MAS. There we go. That is Masco. There we go. Gapping up, trading out at 1990. So they're having a nice trading session today. They're up about 11%. So that is a good move. Let's go ahead and pull Masco back and see what this is trading into. I'm going to need to put this on a weekly chart. I'll tell you what, when we do the Money Masters show, which is going to be coming up here in a few minutes, I'll take a look at Masco as well as all the indexes and everything else. Right now, the Dow is up 11. If you're off to start your day, folks, have a great day, a great trading session. Otherwise, stay tuned. The Money Masters show will be up next. And always remember this, folks, and that is that you have an amazing power within yourself. And that power is so strong, folks, it'll create a life of abundance, cure incurable diseases, build billion-dollar businesses, paint magnificent masterpieces, but most of all, create fantastic, loving families. Thanks so much for being a part of the TFNN family. Have a great day. We'll either see you tomorrow morning or see you in a few. Take care, folks.